have Coach Ulbrich available. We may begin with questions.
Morning, guys. Start with, I guess we could talk about injuries if we have no questions. Irv and Morgan Moses, no information yet. Still getting some scans, and later today should have more information regarding both of them. That's it? No questions?
Jeff, just what was it like, with the team today and going through this and having the playoffs officially taken away from you? What's the mood like in the building today, I guess?
Yeah, so what I did with the players was gave them an opportunity to come in, get their lift, get their regen. Obviously, the injured guys had to come in, but they're doing more meetings on their own with their position groups as opposed to doing a function as a full team. I thought it was an opportunity to just take a second to just reset, because there is some real frustration, obviously, on both sides of this, from coaching, playing, the whole thing, and the process has been right, and that's been the most frustrating part. And I know I've articulated that, and I thought today was an opportunity for them just to regroup and take a breath for a second.
Yeah, when you look at the tape and all that, and you've said the word frustrating a few times, and we've said that through the last several weeks. The way the game went down yesterday, is there in some ways, was that even more frustrating than any of the more recent losses, just kind of the way it went down?
I would have said more frustrating, but probably equally frustrating. There's been, in my opinion, 7 games that have come down to the end of the game and have been within one score, and we didn't get it done. And for a lot of different reasons, when you look at the span of that 7 games. But we haven't been good enough in those moments, and we need to be.
Jeff, how do you, your staff, and the players keep your focus and concentration over these final 4 games?
The tape that we put out for this final 4 games and the tape that we put out always, regardless of circumstance, I know I said this and I'll say it again, there is no context to tape. There is none. So the tape that you put on is you. It's every player in this organization. It's every coach in this organization. So that in itself keeps you motivated. You are demonstrating who you are every day when that tape goes on, and you got to put your best foot forward, because ultimately no one cares what your record was. Nobody cares what the score of the game was. When we get evaluated as players and coaches, the tape is all that matters. So we got to keep it going.
Brett, can you speak about how the young backs acquitted themselves in the lineup yesterday, Isaiah and Braylon?
Yeah, being in this league a long time, I don't think I've seen 2 young rookies at the same position, especially, have such a mature approach. These kids both have amazing careers ahead of them, and it's so exciting for them to get these opportunities early in their careers. Both guys super mature, already at a young age, really understand what a process needs to look like. Obviously, they'll refine that and grow that as they go, but so far ahead of most rookies, and the play is demonstrating that. So excited about their future, both of them.
With the fact that you guys are now officially eliminated from the playoff hunt, does that change the approach as far as personnel with you, or just kind of how you plan the last few games here with the players and who you put out there?
I think at the end of the day, we got to put the best unit out there that gives us the best opportunity to win. And I think every player and every coach will appreciate that. I think sometimes when you start playing with the roster a lot, especially at the back end of a season, that can be discouraging to some players. So we've got to make sure we put the best group out there to win.
After taking a closer look with Aaron, what did you think of his performance overall yesterday?
I thought it was his best performance of the year. I thought he did a very good job, and obviously the statistics would support that. Had an excellent day. I thought the offense had probably their best performance of the year.
Can you talk about the way Garrett and Devontae are complementing each other, how much stress they're putting on opposing secondaries when both of those guys are out there.
Yeah, it's an absolute pain in the butt, from a defensive perspective. Like, who do you double? Who do you bracket? Who do you put your best corner on to shadow? So you got to deal with that every down with the Jets offense right now. So it provides a lot of problems, and you saw that get going yesterday a bit, especially with a really good corner in Ramsey and a really good scheme in what Weaver does there. So it's a problem, but we finally took advantage of it yesterday.
Jeff, I know you still have another month here to go, but is there anything that you've taken away from your time as the interim head coach that you think can help you in your career, in your future? Should you get another chance at this job?
Yeah, I think so. I think it helps. Interim head coach, assistant coach, doesn't really matter. Just these are all amazing learning moments for everybody concerned. So it's I'll take a lot from this. I will. Learned a lot about coaching, but learned a lot about myself as well. And got a lot to learn with the remaining 4 games that we have.
What did you learn about yourself?
That it's actually some stuff I'd rather keep to myself. There's some things about my approach with the players and with the staff that I can improve for sure. And I benefit. I got lots of kryptonites. Don't get me wrong, but one of my superpowers is having honesty with myself and reflecting on what I've done well and more importantly what I haven't done well. So I'll definitely reflect on all of that and grow from it for sure.
Thank you.
I'm sorry if you mentioned this at the very top, but as far as injuries with Sauce and Brees, are they possibilities for this week, especially since Sauce wasn't immediately ruled out? Brees was.
Yeah, I think we should know early in this next week where both those guys stand. I'd like to think they got a chance, but we'll see what Wednesday looks like.
Take a few more for Coach. A few more.
Was yesterday, in your opinion, Coach, Jamie Sherwood's best game as pro? Felt like he was everywhere.
Absolutely. That's some inspired football. If you watch that game and you don't get inspired by the play of Jamie and Sherwood, that you don't really love and appreciate this game at all. He was everywhere. I think the stat line might have said 18 tackles, whatever it was, and it felt like more than that. He's a guy that he's been so important to this defense, and he's brought so much energy and positivity and leadership, and for his play to really start to reflect all that preparation, it's a beautiful thing to see. He's a guy that's absolutely deserving of all the success he's having.
Jeff, you started out saying you wanted to give the guys some time to kind of regroup. What do you want them to, I guess, think about and come back on Wednesday with?
Just a fresh approach, just for a second, just get their mind off of this, because it can get suffocating, especially when the pressure gets as high as it's been, and the negativity can get real, on all of us. So an opportunity to take a deep breath, get a fresh approach, and hit this thing with a fresh approach on Wednesday and get ready for Jacksonville.
So you don't plan to address the team as a whole until Wednesday?
I will. On Wednesday, I will, absolutely. And then I sent a mass group messaging out this morning to them all. So
Obviously, the offense took strides yesterday. What's got to change in terms of finishing? You guys had more than 400 total yards, and explosive plays were there both in the pass game, and you got the Isaiah touchdown. But what's got to change when you get closer to the goal line?
Yeah, there's some untimely penalties there that got us behind the sticks, which just can't happen, and a couple execution things. For as good as the offense was, I know that they would have liked to have been better in the red zone. So I think they ended up it was 2 for 5 in the red zone as far as scoring ops, and you'd like to finish those drives and finish that game. Saying all of that, I thought, the offense did absolutely enough to win that game. From a defensive perspective, we've got to hold up our end of the bargain, and from a special team standpoint, we've got to hold up our end of the bargain. So one of the 3 phases is it's not good enough to get a win in this league.
What were they able to do on offense just to protect Tua and, not allow you guys to pressure him.
Yeah, it was that ball was out on almost a record time yesterday. It was either quick game where his back foot hit and he was releasing the ball, or it was screen. And we ended up getting 12 screens on the day when you break it down. I've never been a part of a game like that, so I thought they had an excellent plan for us. They know we play an aggressive front. We get after people, so screen was their opportunity to try to slow us down best they could. And what's just their offense in general is their timing. And Tua, just this entire season, every time he's been healthy, that back foot hits and that ball comes out. So it's very, very difficult at times to get to him. Saying all of that, I'm taking a hard look at our screen defense. We need to be better versus the screens. Sometimes that's from an execution standpoint, and that's sometimes from a call standpoint. So we got to make sure that type of day doesn't occur for the defense, and I have a big part of that.
On that last one here? On that kickoff by Anders, a lot of attention is on the kick itself, but what went wrong on that whole play? Was it more than just the kick, the coverage? What did you see when you look back at it?
Yeah, it was a little bit of both. Obviously, we were trying to kick that ball out of the end zone. He mishit it, which happens to kickers, and ultimately the cover units, they got to cover whatever kick he kicks, and that goes for kickoff, that goes for punt. So didn't kick it well enough, and we didn't cover it well enough. There was missed tackle, there were some pursuit things there, so definitely some things to clean up as far as that's concerned. We, not to be repetitive, but be at your best when your best required. That's one of those moments, and we were not.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.